Welcome back. We are back, ladies and gents. All the wrestling fans out there, the Nubian Sumo is cracked. What's with that? Is that soda? That's some ginger ale?
No, it's January. It's January. He goes dry for January.
Oh, snaps.
I forgot about that.
Thank God this month's almost over. So
22 days, gentlemen. 22 days. I got 9 more days to go.
Man, Holy Spirit, activate. You can get there, man. You can get there. For those that don't know, welcome to the Sideline Junkies. I am the People's Choice, Papao, Don Rodriguez. Next to me in the middle of the pack is the big guy, KG, and sober, which is a rarity, the Nubian Sumo, rounding out this trio as we begin to jump into 2022 the only way we know how. So be prepared. We got some interesting things coming along. There's we have some segments, some fun, some craziness, and hopefully we can keep to. That is just so weird. He's got ice in the cup and everything. Can you smoke?
No, he cannot.
Nope. No smoking, no drinking.
You know
for
what?
9 more days.
Just for you being on your cleanse, I'm actually gonna pass love to you. You know, most of the time when people are, I was about to go there. So we just gonna give you your flowers early because there's no way I could have started going down that direction without making an old joke. So, how's life been, gentlemen? KG, how's the world been treating you?
Well, as you can see the difference.
Interesting situations.
As you can see the difference from the last time we were on for the New Year's Eve show. Mask off.
Yeah, thankfully.
I am out of COVID protocol. The house is out of COVID protocol. We are good. I feel great. Yeah.
So you fired Omarion and the Omaro. So you got rid of all that crap, huh?
Yeah. We had to get all of that out of there.
And
all of it.
All of it. A fresh shirt. Go ahead and tell us what you're wearing and what it's about.
Well, figured we haven't done this in a while, so I'll break out, my Tokyo Pimps, my Yujiro Takahashi Bullet Club, or House of Torture. So, yeah, especially since they have, with the House of Torture has now garnished their never open weight 6-man tag team championships, which we'll talk about a little later.
You're about to say, Rona, you do have a segment technically.
Allegedly. Oh yeah, so
but allegedly we
just to give it a reason,
Good. Well, I'm glad you guys will say doing good and doing better. Better being KG no longer confounded with the COVID. So with that,
I guess to leave the house now.
Yes. So we're gonna jump into it because we got a lot to talk about, and we're gonna try to make it in a little bit of time. But we know these two are long-winded. So go ahead and hit that first ticker, KG. The Forbidden Door. We talked about a lot in other promotions, and most of the time it's been revolving around the wonderful world of AEW. But now we have a unique opportunity to throw the adversary into the mix, that being the WWE. So for the benefit of those that aren't aware, since the road to WrestleMania begins technically in 7 days at the Royal Rumble, WWE has decided to actually crack the door open twice. The first one being allowing former WWE Women and Divas champion Mickie James and current Impact Women's champion to be in the Rumble. But more importantly, they referenced her promotion that she's a champion of, which we know that under normal circumstances, Vincent Kennedy does not recognize anybody but the WWE and its championships and its brands. The second time was actually more recent, being last night on SmackDown when doing his promo against Roman Reigns. Not only did Seth Rollins mention a former WWE superstar, he mentioned him by his indie slash, I guess we could call it AEW name, being Mox. So we didn't call him Dean Ambrose like they have been when they had the reference to Shield in the past. They actually said Mox a couple times. So that's technically twice that they've mentioned. Well, actually, let's say three times, because the third time is a little bit more interesting from SmackDown because we've seen Eric Bischoff recently in AEW. But Eric Bischoff, true to himself in retirement, has been critical of everybody for the benefit of trying to, I'd say, the business. So we've seen him talk about WWE programming on his podcast. We've seen him talk about other promotions, and we've seen him talk about what's going on in AEW and some of the decisions and thought processes that Tony Khan has had of late. So it's kind of interesting that since he's been critical of Tony and some of his doings, that now he magically appears on WWE programming. So WWE has cracked the forbidden door. I wouldn't call it open. So it's cracked. So my question to you guys, is it about time? Is it too little too late? I mean, what's your thoughts on that? So, Sue, I know you're big on this topic. What's your thoughts on the forbidden door?
Well, you can also throw in the fact that they had Jeff Jarrett on there too, and he's actually has appeared twice in GCW, and is expected to be with GCW for their next show in Chicago. I believe it's going to be where he's going to be probably most likely wrestling against Effie. So he's already given two chair shot, not a chair shot, but a guitar shot to Effie and his tag team partner and the team they call Boosie to his tag team partner Alley Catch. So that's a slight one as well. But going back to topic, I wouldn't say too little too late. I would say better late than never, especially being that they're looking like they're trying to change their way of thinking when it comes to how they're operating these days. You got everything that's going on with NXT. You got them they're not dealing with anybody as far as the indies are concerned, as far as bringing any talent in. But now you got all these throwbacks from other companies, and you're starting to recognize other companies. You can actually probably start putting this on JBL, because when JBL was commentary, when he started on commentary, he would talk about CMLL, he would talk about AAA, he would talk about New Japan, and where these guys would wrestle and have championships. So you could kind of give a throwback to JBL on maybe some of this. You got a lot of folks who are saying that it really doesn't make a difference being that the Knockouts champion. What's her name? I can't think of it. I'm having a brain fart
Mickie
right
James?
now. Mickie James. Yeah, being that she is a former wrestler within the WWE, and some people are even calling it like a receipt, not to say I'm sorry for what happened with the trash bag incident. So I don't know. I mean, it's probably good for them that they branch out like this, to open up to other companies like this. We'll see if it is a one or if it's a one off. But it'll be interesting to see if they do anything else with it.
Yeah, the key is, as we've seen from Impact, if one goes somewhere, somebody else is soon to follow. And it's going to be interesting because they've laid out about 90% of the play field for the women's Royal Rumble, which I'm not happy with, but that's neither here nor there. But the men's is definitely up in the air. there could be some surprises. We know there'll be a couple NXT people sprinkled in, so we'll just call a spade, Bron Breakker, or maybe Tommaso Ciampa. So we may see that happen, but there's rumors, and we all know how rumors go. One of them could be a free agent in AEW. Cody Rhodes could show up as Cody Rhodes. Hopefully not Stardust, but that would be funny. So who knows what they could do in this men's side, which is going to be, not saying anything to slight the women, the more significant change, because I think whoever they bring in, if it is somebody from another promotion onto the men's rumble, is going to be a big deal, just because that's leading to putting butts in the seats for the way it's looking for WrestleMania. But KG, what's your thoughts?
I can never say too little too late. I agree with James. It's better late than never. If you think back mid 90s, I want to say that's when they ended their deal with New Japan. Mm-hmm. Was it about 93, 94, right, James?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It shouldn't have taken this long, because I was standing in the kitchen early, and I said I hate talking like this because it makes me seem like I'm just that old guy that's on the corner and just reminiscing about the good old days and this, that, and the other. And it's like I'm not giving the new stuff a chance.
You are Cooley High. You are.
I'll be that. But if you think back, and I'll say this is about 07, 08, 09, I think all the way up until about 2011, when TNA was NWA and they had the deal with New Japan. You had the Motor City Machine Guns, the Dudley, or Team 3D. You had them going over there, and they were bringing belts back. WWE could have jumped on that train then and opened everything up, but they did not. They could have done something then, but it's always a possibility of doing it now. I mean, it's the possibilities are endless. What are you going to do with it though? Is it going to be a one-off, or are you going to make something out of it? You can make something out of it and rebuild this brand, because this is WWE is a sinking ship, and I'll get into that later when I get to my segment. But WWE has to do something to put life back into it, and this would put life back into WWE.
I agree with that, because if you think back,
remember KG though. Remember KG. It was around that time when around the end of the Super J Cup, around that time too. So that was around the time when Vince was kind of reining everything in, trying to bring everything back into WWE, going into WWE at that time. He actually had, remember, the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship was part of the J Cup title. Mm-hmm. Remember, he had the J Cup title had 10 different titles. And one of them was the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship. He pulled that championship back from that title. So he was kind of reining everything in and bringing everything back toward himself around that time.
Let me throw this at you, because I know James, you would know this. I don't know if Don would know this, but you would know this. Give me the two prominent wrestlers that held the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship.
The two prominent wrestlers that held it while being in the WWF?
While in the WWF.
Bro, I couldn't tell you. Because remember, no, it wasn't Taka, was it? Was Taka one of them?
It was Taka Michinoku, and who was the second
one? First of all, I don't think Don would know this. Let's just put that out there that I already got one out of two.
Yeah, because I wasn't watching WWF back then. I was still on NWA WCW. So yeah, I couldn't tell you. So that was around the time when he was with Kaientai. He had that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, you can get the second. The second one's easy. But the title never showed up on TV. That's the thing. It never showed up on TV.
Yeah, I'm brain farting on that one because Ray wasn't there yet. So
Ray.
No, he wasn't.
Wasn't Funaki?
92, 90.
No, this is late 90s. This is Attitude Era. because they discontinued it after
Attitude
Attitude Era. Yeah. This is about the beginning, about the first year or two of the Attitude Era.
Owen?
Nope.
You got us stumped on that one, bro.
Yeah, I'm
Christian.
done. Yeah.
Christian, really?
It was
I'd
Christian.
have never thought about Christian having that title.
That was, if I'm not mistaken, that was his first major. Well, not major, but that was his first title in WWE. Was a light heavyweight championship, and he beat Taka Michinoku for it. But then after he won it, Gilbert held it for the longest. I think he has the longest reign, and then after that, they discontinued it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But it was a title that just wasn't defended. It was a good title, but it just wasn't defended on TV. You know, you had to catch the house shows and Shotgun Saturday Night to see it defended. And I watched Shotgun Saturday Night on a regular.
That may be a new
segment.
segment.
I never thought of Christian.
Random facts by KG. Who knows? That may be a new segment.
Man, that'll take all night.
Just to point another point out to you guys, as I was thinking, listening to both of you talk. When we had the Attitude Era, Vince was reactionary to what was happening in WCW. Now the Forbidden Door is opening, and he's reactionary to AEW. He's not going to go and commit to any higher than PG 12. You know, he's critical of some of the blood and stuff that's been happening in AEW, blading or just a hard way busted open, to the point to where Warner Media, they did a throwback to, I was reading an article where he complained to Warner Media and Ted Turner about all the blood that was in WCW. And, you know, saying, hey, that's not what we do up here. That's not good business. People should be bleeding all over the place and stuff like that. So this could be Vince's reactionary knee jerk to what's happening in AEW and saying, all right, if they're doing it and it's working and it's putting butts in the seats, and they've been continually through a pandemic putting consistent butt in seats, mostly in Daly's place, but still sellout after sellout after sellout for what they could do within COVID protocols. Why not? But my last question to you about this topic, gentlemen, is what one superstar, male or female, would you like to see come through that WWE Forbidden Door? We'll just narrow it down to the Royal Rumble. For me, I'd say it'd be Moose. And it wouldn't even be a wrestling part. I'll be just comfortable with Moose in a backstage segment. You may have Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley face to face looking at each other, and you just have Moose come up. Just three larger than life specimens of human beingism, just standing in one spot at the same time. I think that'd be phenomenal and cool. What about you, James?
Just for nostalgia's sake, and because he's been wrestling a lot lately, with especially being that he's now a tag team champion here been the last few months, Keiji Muta.
Okay, KG.
I'd like to see the great Muta come into the Royal Rumble.
That'd be awesome. And miss everybody.
you just made my night with that. The great Muta. That takes me back, man. That takes me back. We're not gonna go down that road because we're gonna be on here all night talking about the great Muta.
Yeah, that's some NWA for you right there.
Yeah, how many times I tried to beat the great Muta and damn near broke my neck. Used to eat green, daggone annihilated so my tongue could be green. Yeah.
For him and Juicer Liger, those are my 1 and 2s, man. I would just, anything they was doing, I was attempting on a mattress somewhere, which attests to the state of the world as we know it. Because back then, you could just find a mattress out there in the alley or something, lay that thing down, jump off something, backflip on it. You didn't even think about what the hell was on the mattress.
Exactly.
Now, my kids even get close to some mattress out there, I'm snatching the hell out of them. What the hell's wrong with you? You don't know what the hell's on that damn mattress.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
But for me, this is no joke.
I'm jumping in leaves. You don't know what the hell's in the daggone leaves. But that's a whole other story.
I'm being dead serious. This is no joke. Just because I would love to see how she works with Bianca Belair, Mandy, You know who it is.
Here we go.
But I'm being. This is straight wrestling.
If we clock it, hey, KG, hold up. Hand me the ball so I can clock it. Sorry, that was a bad Dallas joke, but we'll clock that at 20 minutes into the show.
Well, you know, I had an even worse Dallas joke. What time does Dallas play tonight?
I don't know. It only depends on what time frame you playing in Madden.
I ain't playing that. Let's. Jordan Grace is my pick. It's Jordan Grace all day long.
Big Mama Pump.
Yeah, because just how she would work off of the other women, that alone. You know, I would love to see her working with Bianca Belair. I would love to see her working with Becky. I would just love to see how she works with these women. And you know, as big as she is,
strong women, but not a strong built woman.
They don't have a China. They don't have a Nicole Bass.
That would be a hell of a great match. Or even her with Tamina with no straitjacket.
I can agree.
So I mentioned it earlier. There's no way to get around it. 7 days away from the road to WrestleMania officially beginning. At this moment, is it safe to say that Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns is going to be the main event of WrestleMania? And if that is the case, is that the match and the main event we deserve and that we want? KG, I'm going to go with you first, because I know you got some feelings about that potential.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, test these one.
We can hear you.
Hell no. We deserve better. Every year, don't get me wrong. Every year, somebody wins the championship. Brock comes back at WrestleMania or Royal Rumble, and he wins the championship back, or he got the championship, and then he goes into WrestleMania. I'm tired of that. This is the 4th year in a row we going through this. If you ain't giving me the Undertaker, I don't want
it. So you're frustrated.
Undertaker?
Yeah. I would take Undertaker right now in a cinematic match against Roman Reigns.
Well, rumor is that Taker will be in the area during Royal Rumble.
And well, it's going to be in Texas.
It's in Texas. Why wouldn't he be?
Not WrestleMania. I said for the Royal Rumble.
Where's Royal Rumble?
For the Rumble. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
so you brought up Taker. I'm just saying, rumor is, who knows? He may not wrestle. Doesn't mean.
Well, I mean, it's the Texas connection. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, hey, they got Stone Cold doing a Stone Cold sessions that night. So I mean,
and it's rumor has it that he's supposed to show back up for one more match.
Yeah, allegedly. That's allegedly, right. So,
but I'm not happy about it for one reason, because the big guy KG had a dream. He had a dream that at some point, Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar are going to come together and have a main event match. Technically, they are at the Royal Rumble. Unfortunately, if this is your main event, Bobby Lashley is just collateral damage to elevate Brock Lesnar to make him more opposable for Roman Reigns. So you get your match. It's just not going to be anything. Same thing with Seth Rollins. Seth is going to do his part to elevate Roman for Brock. We'll talk about picks later, but you can see where I'm going on titles changing hands at the Royal Rumble. But Sumo, what's your thoughts? Is this what you want? Is this what you need?
Well, I only want it because we've been waiting so long for it. And I know what the purpose is for it, which is why I'm happy for it. Which I'm happy for it, because what I've been saying for a while now is about to come to fruition.
Would you like to drop the nugget?
The titles are about to be merged. The titles are about to come together. When Brock stood up to Roman and was like title for title, that's going to be your WrestleMania main event.
Yep. Now the question
is, we're going to have one belt right coming. Who gets over?
Yep.
Who goes over? You want me to call it now?
Yeah.
Roman.
I'm saying Roman.
I say Roman.
Only because that gives The Rock, since he plans long term, he can pencil in WrestleMania for next year.
Why wait till next year?
Should be around, and that should, because that's around the time when Black Adam's coming out.
Yep. And
he'll have a reason. He'll have a reason to come out. He'll have a reason to come out and do promotion, and that'll be. And why not put the WWE audience in a Marvel movie? Why not put them together?
Utilize the WWE audience again, Haku Mashente, to make him.
You still bitter about that?
I am. One line and a CGI, and the dude don't come back for a while. One line. He said one line. Man, we were packed to go see Scorpion King, Haku Mashente.
That was the Mummy Returns.
And the bad CGI at that, once he came out as a Scorpion. But,
let it go, bro.
I just know that we laid the foundation, and then he kind of ran away, and then didn't want to come back as often as he should have. Shout out to John Cena for at least doing a couple programs, even though we couldn't see him. But shout out to Cena.
Moving right along. This will not.
Might this be time for That's Just Nubian?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just so you all know, this is inside baseball here, folks.
Peel the curtain back.
I didn't know about this. This is the first time I've seen or heard this. I know nothing. I'm just as surprised as you all are about what just happened.
Wasn't it, James? You like it. You know what, KG? Hit him again. Look at that suave debonair Nubian sumo. And that all red, man. You was killing it. You was clean, son. Looked like you just murdered somebody. That's how clean you were. Woo!
The only dude I know that can pull off an ascot other than Roland Martin.
You can't even do a segment. Come on, man.
Y'all something else, man. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that. That's hot. I like that. That's that new hotness. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, speaking of new hotness, we're going to start everything off with the newest promotion that has started up in the wrestling world. And piggybacking off of KG and his pick with Jordan Grace earlier, this is Jonathan Gresham's new promotion in Atlanta, Georgia called Terminus. The Terminus Pro Wrestling Grapplers. They're not calling themselves wrestlers. They're calling themselves grapplers. He's switching it up, man. I mean, it's something else. As a matter of fact, the rules of the organization are along the lines of the Ring of Honor Pure rules. So you got the 3 rope break rule that they have. They have the interference rule where you You get ejected from the organization if you have outside interference or whatever. There are disqualifications that the referee can ask for. There's a 5 count outside of the ring, not 10, not 20, but a 5 count. No off the top, no over the top rope at all. So yeah, I mean, they pulled in the Bill Watts rules also. So I mean, it's very interesting. They just had their first show this past weekend, and it was I got to watch it. It was very interesting. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna so piggybacking off of what KG is gonna be doing a little later. Here's what grinds my gears at this point. Fight TV. You need to be damn ashamed of yourself.
Oh, boy.
And I'm gonna tell you right now to your face, and I'm pointing. Now, if I had my cigar, I'd be pointed at you, but I got my finger today. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna give you this finger. This finger's like you use this finger to say number 1. I ain't even gonna use this finger. I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna give you the pinky.
Ooh.
All right. You need to be damn ashamed of yourself about the production quality you gave to Faye Jackson on that pre-show. You couldn't hear between her and Suge D. You couldn't hear nobody. Every time they did an interview with anybody, the mics would cut in and out. You need to do better about yourself, especially when you got somebody who's trying to bring new wrestling and new talent and a new promotion in under your flagship.
Mm-hmm.
And you gonna do them like that? That's dirty. And I say it to your face if you need me to, and if you want to hit me back about it, we'll give emails and everything when we get done here today. But I'm gonna tell you, you're wrong. You're dead wrong, and you need to do better. And they got another show coming up in February, and you need to do what you need to do to make up for that. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to tell you, because you doing Faye Jackson dirty. Now you're not able to hear Faye Jackson. Come on now.
See, my thing is, I know James is old school, so when you go to the pinky, see, normally it's like, when you see that thumb tuck and somebody do this here, and they talking to you with the hand with here, you're in trouble. When they go to pinky, that's gangster. That's that's capo shit right there. I ain't messing with you. I ain't got nothing to say about that. Go on.
That's pimpology for real. That's 5 across the eyes.
So, Jonathan Gresham started his new promotion. It's called Terminus. The reason why he calls it Terminus, gonna give you another little gem. And actually, Don might know this one. Did you act? No, I said you might know this one.
I know. It's just the
you lived in Atlanta, so you may remember this one. The actual original name for the city of Atlanta was Terminus.
Yeah, I did hear that. Doing training.
The reason being is because all the trains in the southern area would converge or meet at some point in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the name Terminus. So that's where they're getting the name for this organization from. So they started out the show, like I said, they had like a 45-minute pre-show where they were doing interviews and they had Faye Jackson and Suge D, or who a lot of people may know from AEW as Pineapple Pete.
Mm.
So they were doing commentary, and they were bringing in different folks. Matt Taven was there. They brought in some other folks and did interviews with them prior to the show, and then that led into the first match, which was Lee Moriarty versus Josh Woods.
Mm.
Josh Woods being the last Ring of Honor pure champion. Now, he didn't have the belt with him, which was surprising to me because a lot of the wrestlers that have Ring of Honor belts have been going around and defending these championships, but he didn't have the belt, and they didn't mention him being the pure champion. So that was kind of interesting to me. Now, Josh Woods was a replacement for Jay Lethal. Now, Jay Lethal wasn't able to come because of all the snow and whatnot that happened that weekend. That was the first weekend. That was just last weekend when all this, when they caught us part of that snowstorm too. Yep. So he wasn't able to do the traveling because he was in Jacksonville. He was wherever the AEW was their last shows. So Lee Moriarty wrestled Josh Woods, and Moriarty wound up getting the Duke. You had a four-way, what was compared to as a Ring of Honor four-way survival match, which is a four-way elimination match, pretty much, where it was Daniel Garcia, a wrestler by the name of JDX, Invictus Cash, Khash, and Adam Priest. So these were some guys out of Atlanta who were local, and then Daniel Garcia, who you know from AEW, who's been hanging around with 2.0. Mm-hmm. And Daniel Garcia got the win by pinning all three other combatants in this match. So then the next match was a non-title match. Moose versus Mike Bennett from OGK. Now, Moose was an actual replacement because Mike Bennett was actually supposed to wrestle Alex Coughlin. So, Moose was supposed to wrestle Alex Coughlin. Alex Coughlin being from New Japan Strong, a former who's still a young lion with New Japan, but he's training out of the LA dojo at this point. So it was supposed to be Moose and Alex Coughlin, but Mike Bennett came in and replaced him. And Mike Bennett actually got the win because Moose threw him over the top rope twice. So he wound up getting a disqualification win, but it counts in Terminus. So then the next match was another replacement match. It was supposed to be Janai Kai, which is a up and coming wrestler. You know, everybody remembers Tootie Lynn, who I was talking about, who wound up getting into the women's battle royal for the 73rd anniversary for the NWA last year. Janai Kai is the new up and coming young talent that's in the indies right now, and she was supposed to wrestle another wrestler named Lisa Hall, but she got caught up in the snowstorm as well. So she wound up being replaced by Diamante, who wound up winning that match. Mm-hmm. Then you had the title defense for the Impact Digital Media Championship, Jordan Grace versus Kiera Hogan.
Really?
Yes. And Jordan Grace defended her championship, and then was approached by Mr. Long Island IZ himself, Matt Cardona, mm-hmm. who is now coming after Jordan Grace for her championship.
Wait a minute, didn't she just lose it though?
No, she had it as of last Thursday.
No, I just saw because it could be a spoiler from a taping, but I think she lost it.
She may have lost it to Cardona because Cardona did approach her as of last Thursday and was like, "I want the title." So it could have happened during the house. It could have happened during the house show. It could have not. I haven't heard about that, but I can follow up on that for next week. Next match up was and this is going to kind of settle some confusion to a lot of people. Bandito, the Ring of Honor World Champion, mm-hmm. going up against a gentleman by the name of Baron Black, who is another up-and-comer in the Atlanta area. who has been trained by Mr. Hughes, and it was a pretty good match. They had a nice 20 minutes, 20-minute match. And another thing, this was a 60-minute time limit on this match, but in Terminus, all matches that aren't title matches are 15-minute time limits. Title matches will be 20 unless there's a stipulation or something that changes the time limit or the stipulations in the match to go against the DQ rules. So this was a 60-minute time limit only because it was for a Ring of Honor title. So other organizations' rules will go into effect if need be. So this was a 60-minute time limit match. They did go a good 20 minutes together, and Baron Black looked very good. But Rick Bandito did retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. Now, we go on now to tag team match. Dante Caballero and Joe Keys, who are two guys out of the Ring of Honor dojo, going up against Fred Yehi and Tracy Hot Sauce Williams, which is, for those that know, is a reunion of the old faction Catch Point from Evolve. So they did the handshakes, they did everything that they were supposed to, just like they did with Catch Point. So that was very interesting. But the Young Lions won the match. Dante Caballero and Joe Keys wound up getting the Duke on that. So it was interesting to see. And now the main event for the night. Jonathan Gresham, the Ring of Honor original world champion, going up against Josh Alexander. Now, you ask me, what's the difference between the Ring of Honor world champion and Bandito and Jonathan Gresham being the Ring of Honor original world championship? Well, the difference is Jonathan Gresham is pretty much considered the interim champion, being that when Final Battle took place back in December, and Bandito wound up getting COVID and couldn't show up to have his match against Jonathan Gresham, they had the match against Gresham and Lethal. So they didn't strip Bandito of the title. They presented Jonathan Gresham, who wound up winning the match, with the original Ring of Honor championship, and it's calling him the original champion. Now, this is an interim championship, but they're looking at Jonathan Gresham as the more so than Bandito. As a matter of fact, when last week, they had GCW had 3 shows last week. One of those shows had Bandito on the card, but they didn't even recognize him as Ring of Honor champion. But he is supposed, but now he's supposed to be wrestling again. I don't know if he's supposed to be wrestling for the title or not, with the title or not. But he's supposed to be wrestling again sometime this week or next weekend. Right. So we'll see what happens there. But Jonathan Gresham is the one that they're really pushing as Ring of Honor World Champion with this original belt. So they wound up, Jonathan Gresham and Josh Alexander wound up having their match. It wound up going to a double pin. They wound up going into a whole succession of pinfalls back and forth, whatever, and they got into inside. They gave each other an inside cradle, and both of their shoulders were down. So there is a rule where you get an extra 90 seconds in this situation, but being that it wasn't a time limit draw, they chose not to use the extra time. So it just ended as a double pin, and Jonathan Gresham retained. Now, after the match, Bandito did come into the ring with the Ring of Honor World Championship, and approached Gresham like, yeah, we got some unfinished business. We got to figure this out. But then all of a sudden, some music hits.
Uh-oh.
And somebody comes down the aisle and gets in the ring and says, look, I respect both of y'all, but Jonathan Gresham, Yeah, me and you got some business. So in February at the next Terminus show, I want a shot at the Ring of Honor original World Championship. And who might that person have been?
Enzo.
No. You want to take a guess, KG?
Who could that have been?
I'll give y'all a hint. He's one half of a very popular tag team.
Shawn Michaels.
No.
B. Brian Blair.
No, not that famous. Talking about current famous.
There's a lot of them.
I'll tell you what.
It's gonna be easy, I know.
Top 5 right now, tag teams. Top 5. He's a member of one of the top 5 tag teams right now.
Across all wrestling.
Across all of wrestling. Top 5.
That's still a wide open thing. Just tell us.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna get it. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be like, man, I knew that.
Well, we know it's nobody from WWE.
No, you're not, because I was surprised at this myself. Santana from the Inner Circle.
What?
Like I said, it was easy.
I was thinking that, but I was like, no. Because, I mean, no disrespect to Pride and Powerful, but I wouldn't consider them top 5.
I would consider them top 5 at the well.
I'd say top 10, but at the moment, not top 5.
Okay, I give you that, because there is a lot of debate, especially with what's going on right now with their storyline, talking about how Jericho's been holding them back and things of that nature.
They haven't been in that much high profile, or even really. I mean, they've had some matches, but it hasn't been what we're used to. And
so you're saying that
that's a whole different.
So you're saying that any So you're saying that any tag team that comes into AEW, other than giving them FTR, who else would you give them?
Actually, I mean, they have some great tag teams. You know, you got the Bucks, you got 2.0, you got Roppongi Vice, you got I'm trying to rattle them off the top of my head. Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy.
Now, see, let me stop you because you're stretching now.
Well, I'm just saying that. I mean,
now.
They are some great tag teams. They're really good tag teams. They may not be.
Yeah, they're really good tag teams. But you're saying that if the Briscoes walked into AEW right now, other than FTR, you would give them 2.0. You wouldn't give them Santana and Ortiz.
I don't think they would come in and start. I mean, they're calling FTR. So the Briscoes.
No. I'm saying FTR and the Briscoes is the automatic. I'm not saying I'm taking FTR out of the picture. I'm talking about coming in. If they want to come, if the Briscoes come in,
Lucha Bros.
If the Briscoes come in, and they want to stretch this FTR thing out, you don't give them Santana and Ortiz. I know. I get you give them. I get you give them Lucha Brothers, but Phoenix is hurt right now. So,
but we're just naming tag teams. But I would like to give them Santana and Ortiz. But what they just said, it rings true. We've been so much Inner Circle that we haven't had a chance to put that work in the tag team division, because they've been Inner Circle. They've been dealing with Dan Lambert, and they've been dealing with this situation for Jericho and MJF and Pinnacle and all this, while you've got, Jungle Boy and Jurassic Express became champions, and all these, and Sting and Darby are racking up ridiculous amount of wins, and all those things are happening. But where's Santana and Ortiz, a team that a year and a half ago was a staple in AEW as a tag team? That's my only issue. That's what I said, as it stands right now, because they haven't had that much time on TV to be main TV, to be a tag team. not in addition to, not a 3-person, but a tag team. That's all. That's
Well,
all I'm
we'll see
saying.
what happens with Santana as a single when this match goes off in February. But yeah, we said we wasn't gonna take it too long. I could go into New Japan and whatnot, but we'll save that for the next segment. Well,
Yeah, I
next
know
time,
we spent about
because there's a
5-10
lot
minutes
going
on
on
his
with
intro.
New Japan as far as the Wrestle Kingdom that we had back at the beginning of January, the show that they had with Pro Wrestling Noah, and then all of the stuff that's been happening lately. So I can make a whole segment out of that, out of New Japan. So we'll just
Oh yeah,
hold on
we
to
got some
them
more
until
national
next time.
champions coming. Like I said, we spent about 5 extra minutes on his intro alone because vanity is one of those 7 deadly sins. So, thank you. No, we're not gonna run it again. We're not gonna run it again. That'd be too much. It'd be too much overkill. He wouldn't know what to do it himself if we played it 3 times. But one thing we do need to talk about is the color line. Now, just to give you a little bit of backstory, Big Swole is no longer with AEW. She was, released mutually between AEW and, well, we'll say Tony Khan and her. She did an interview, and in the midst of that interview, she was talking about how, pardon my voice, her and her daughter would watch, more so her daughter would watch wrestling because she's split between 2 fields. She's got her dad, Cedric Alexander, on WWE programming, and her mom is in AEW. So she's watching both programs. And she said to her mom, "Hey, mom, I see more people that look like me in the WWE, not so much in AEW." And that was really what she was saying. From her daughter's perception, there wasn't enough people that looked like her, being black or African American, on AEW TV. So I took the challenge. That wasn't really there, but I took it. And I took it last week, but I also took it this week. So we're just going to cover this week's results. And here's how it breaks down. I'm just taking the 2 main shows, Raw versus Dynamite. So I broke it up into 3 categories: white, Caucasian, African American, and other. Other being Latino, Asian, just other than African American pure. I guess we'll say it that way. WWE at this week's Raw had 24 white Caucasian superstars, all of which was on TV, not so much in video vignettes, but either wrestle or was in a backstage segment, opposed to just a clip, hype thing, which we know they do, but I didn't count those. So 24, we saw Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, Alpha Academy, RK Bro, Doudrop, Liv Morgan, Kevin Owens, Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH, Sarah Schreiber. I did count some of the more prominent interviewers just because they were there a lot. So Finn Balor, Austin Theory, Corey Graves, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Miz and Maurice, Edge and Beth, Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, and Alexa Bliss. 24 that I could catch, to be good. African Americans, 15. Bobby Lashley, Bianca Belair, Byron Saxton, Omos, Reggie, R-Truth, Tamina, Street Profits, Aziz, Apollo Crews, Shelton Benjamin, Uso, Cedric, MVP. Other, we had 5. Damian Priest, Zelina Vega, Akira Tozawa, and the Mysterios. So that's WWE. 24 white Caucasian, 15 African American, 5 other. Now let's turn the channel to TBS and go to AEW. Are you ready for this? And you can tell me, James, whether or not you agree or disagree with where Swole was going. White Caucasian, AEW for Dynamite, 40. African American, black, 7. Other, 4. So I'm gonna get one more step of detail in a second, but since I read the names out, here's the 40 white Caucasians that were on Dynamite: Cody, Punk, Sean Spears, Mox, Sting, Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Serena Deeb, Sky Blue, Adam Cole, Britt Baker, Orange Cassidy, Statlander, MJF, Wardlow, Jericho, Darby, Matt Hardy, Billy Gunn, Christian, Billy Gunn's Sons of Gun Club, John Silver, Anna Jay, Mark Sterling, Malachi Black, Brody King, Varsity Blondes, Pac, Jake Roberts, Dan Lambert, Hangman Adam Page. I counted Aubrey, Randy Cutler, Roppongi Vice, Matt Sydal, Layla Hirsch, Ethan Page, and a couple people. I was writing so fast, I can't read what the hell I put, but that's only 2 people. So I named 38. There was 40. Black African American. Here's the 7. The Acclaimed, I count 1, Anthony Bowens, because Matt Caster is, I don't know. But in his promo, he said black and white. So obviously, one of them's white or something to that effect. It could be mixed. But Jade Cargill, Dante Martin, Lee Moriarty, Hobbs, Red Velvet, and Scorpio Sky. Now, only 2 of the 7, 2 wrestled. The Acclaim. Everybody else was in an interview, backstage, or somewhere else. Only 2 wrestled. WWE, what was that number again? 15 had some work in. 2 wrestled. And your other, Santana and Ortiz, Ricky Starks, and Andrade. That
Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. You left. Wait a minute. Did you leave out? You left out the Hardy family office because wasn't the Hardy family office on there too?
I didn't.
So you got
Butcher, Bunny,
Private
Blade,
Party,
and Private Party. So I guess that would be 9.
Yeah, I'm trying to help AEW out. It's not helping, but I'm trying to help. I'm trying.
Yeah. So they put out more
because for those 2, you can add another 6 to the white column.
So, now, on the other side, I didn't get a chance to clock it. I'm gonna have to do that maybe next week. But I'm guarantee you, there's more on Elevation and Dark.
I was about to say that. You see, you need to find us. You need to find us on Elevation Dark.
So now, I think, and we talked about it actually before, that is the current problem with AEW. WWE has Raw, SmackDown, 2 shows, and at least you have 2 shows of strong prominence that you're showing, I'd say, maybe 80 to 90% of your roster between those 2 shows. Main event, just about everybody is on those 2 shows. Some could say and argue maybe they don't have enough superstars to get more diversity, but 2 shows you see in almost everybody they got. Rampage is a drop in the bucket, but Rampage is also filmed at the same time that they're doing Dynamite. So technically, that's 1 show. Just combine the 2 together, and that's the pool. Still 40. If I added Rampage to it, we'd still look really bad. Even Other is looking really bad. So they have a lot of talent, but where they lost the AEW part of AEW is the lesser talent is interacting with the main event talent, and then you have more interesting storylines because you're getting introduced to people you didn't even know. We made for AEW, we made Darby Allen because the fans gravitated towards Darby as a person that you may not have seen that much before. Kenny Omega was Kenny Omega, but people didn't really know Kenny Omega from the American side unless you were in the know, unless you were a smart mark. So if you weren't, you discovered Kenny Omega by watching him in AEW. There's plenty of other superstars. I'd say probably the biggest fan favorite, fan made superstar in AEW has got to be Jungle Boy Jack Perry. The fans
I'll give you that.
put the rocket ship on his back, not Tony Khan. And that's why he's champion, why he's had all these opportunities, period. And those are the folks that you didn't know until you just started seeing the creative matchmaking. Now that Tony's taken over and kind of gotten McMahonism, in my opinion, who do you see? Same storyline, same people. Same storyline, same people. Same storyline, same people. Same storyline, same people. And everybody else is on Elevation and Dark. Look at that. We even got some diversity on some light skinness for the moment. Compared to Granddaddy. So, I mean, tell me what your thoughts are. I mean, like I said, 47-4. Well, I'm sorry, 49-4. We'll leave it there. We'll leave out some of the rest of the Hardy family office. Just claim the two black people. And then on WWE, 24-15-5. My opinion, can't say WWE has a diversity problem.
That's true, but you have to. I'm not saying that you have to look at Tony Khan's take on it because they're saying, yeah, well, we have all these folks that are in prominent positions within the organization. Funny how he mentioned everybody but Brandy. I found that funny. He mentioned everybody except their chief brandy officer. But yeah, I thought yeah, he was looking So I've had all these folks won this week. This person won this week. This person is head of our such and such, and me, I'm a minority. I'm part of the diversity or whatever. So it's funny.
Like, I'm sorry, dude. Well, you can't really claim this one because while we was getting hosed and beat down because Martin Luther King. I just want to bring that up. Your lineage kind of was in charge of some oil and other things. So kind of had the better end of the stick on this one, bud. And
but then you had our favorite, your guy, Leo Rush.
Did you see how fast he came to it?
Oh, he came in quick. They was like, look, I get what you're saying, bro, but I'm gonna tell you something.
He's gonna be a free agent tomorrow. Go figure. But this is the one time I was like, Leo, because nobody else wanted to touch it.
Until
he made some noise.
Yeah, he made some noise, but he backtracked.
Well, they had a conversation.
Yeah, they had a conversation, and you saw what came out of that conversation. You see what he posted, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I need to rethink.
Well, because Tony cut some money.
Yeah.
Leo.
Well, see, that makes him look bad, though.
And here's the worst thing: I couldn't even mention Mark Henry. Nobody mentioned Mark Henry.
It's time for the main event.
That's all we got for Mark Henry on the forefront. But I mean, seriously though, and KG, you were listening. Feel free to chime in. There's got to be a better balance. They have enough. It's not about hiring. You have enough talent. You just need to balance it out based off of who the hell is in the main show.
I'm gonna
They're
say
not
this.
treating it like Dynamite. I'm sorry, Rampage is, equal to Dynamite. They're saying it's a secondary show, so they're treating it for what it is. So if we're just talking about Dynamite as the one that's going to bring the ad buys and everything else, hello, where the hell is Sunny Kiss?
That's
a
where I was
double
getting ready
dip
to
in
go.
diversity. Double
That's
dip.
that's exactly where I was getting ready to go, because ever since we've been doing this and we've been talking about AEW and first found out they signed him, I said, why is AEW not putting Sonny Kiss on TV? I think he's been on TV once, twice, maybe.
In 2021,
They just ended that feud a few weeks ago with him and Janela.
Who would know?
They had that. I think that's supposed to be their last match against each other, but I don't know. They could stretch that out, but that match should at least be. Those series of matches should at least been on Rampage.
Yep.
Because they did stretch that out. They did a pretty decent job storyline wise between the two of them. But
what are they losing by putting him on there?
nothing.
They have enough time, even at 2 hours, to slide him into a match at least once a month. Hell, we almost done with Black History Month, and you only had in Black History Month 9.
Well, we still got
we can't get a courtesy call up.
We still got a few weeks to go for Black History Month, to be honest.
Yeah, and
got a few weeks to go.
So who they gonna put on the show?
It doesn't matter, because you know what?
It doesn't matter because they putting out a damn CD for Black History Month, AEW. So that makes up for everything. They got to do else because they putting out a hip hop CD for Black History Month with all black rappers on it. So that makes up for any kind of diversity they would need to put in for the month of February.
You know what?
I bet they would suggest you listen to that CD in the comfort of your hoopty while sipping a Coke 45 and eating some chicken.
And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and leave that alone. I'm gonna pull a James and I'm gonna leave that alone. So Nubian Sumo, I'm like you. I'm just not even gonna touch that. I'm not because if I touch it, we're gonna lose everything. And we done worked it too hard for what we got. I'm not gonna touch it because I'm gonna touch it and I'm going political and I'm gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. So I'm not gonna touch it. Nope.
Even though we may have some issues in WWE land, it's the one time where you actually gotta give, Vince, gotta give him a high five on that one.
But here's the thing, and I know you probably won't be able to do this, but since you did it for Raw and AEW, I'd like to get at least the numbers for either Dark or Dark Elevation.
I can look at it for next week, and we can come back to it.
I would like to know what the numbers are for one of those two shows.
I can tell you it's already a couple more. It's one White up because that's Hook, and he beat up Bandito, wasn't it? I think it was Bandito. What was that guy's name? Oh no, whatever. But he was in the other category, so that's one match right there.
No, I think wasn't it Serpentico?
Yeah, Serpentico. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Serpentico.
Seeing any of us on the promo reel for Rampage, so it's not going to look good. Dark though, we everywhere.
Yeah, I bet. It's called Dark.
Because you're gonna have Lee Johnson on there.
Yep.
You're gonna have Sean, the captain on there. Sean, what's his name? Sean Dean.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have them two on there.
They were calling him as being in the office, on charge of diversity.
Yeah, he's supposed to be office. Yeah, he's a suit.
Nobody even cares. You ain't even on the show.
No. He got MJF's first loss for the year the couple of weeks back.
Yeah, that's true. But
he did take it to go to sleep for Punk to get it.
Yeah, he's like 1 of 3. I guess that was your diversity gimme right there. But yeah, I'll definitely compile all that and take a look at it. But from what just the purest eye standpoint, taking the adult and the politics and life experience out of it from just the pure youthful eyes of was she between 4 and 8. You can see why she said, "I don't really see a lot of me in that programming. Not when you see in 40.
Right.
Don't know what to tell you. And then the ones they're all pretty much back to back interviews. And then what was it? One match. Well, at one point I was mad at WWE for having two black people go against each other to get the diversity win. But then everybody else showed up in hour 2.5 to 3. It was just like the floodgates opened up. And we was all over the place. So I'm like, all right, numbers started shooting up because we were at 3 for a long time in hour 1 in WWE. You know, AEW, yeah, whatever. So that was the color line this week. This is something I think will make KG happy. Word on the street. Word on the street is that after 4 weeks, WWE management is not really too happy with NXT 2.0. They're wondering, why is it not catching on? What's happening? We got the new cool people. We got colors all over the place. You know, we got the crowd all riled up in the CWC. But we just don't get why people don't like it. James, take it away.
Fuck NXT. You're gonna talk.
Wait, hold on. Before you say it, James, NXT just ruined the one person that was watching it. Mind you, I DVR it. Or, sorry, dang, that just show my age. I might as well say I TiVoed it. But yeah, you know, I DVR it, but I just don't watch. I delete it. Go, James, go.
I said from the beginning when they changed it over, I said I'm gonna give NXT a chance. I'm gonna watch this show. But there's going to be something. It's going to be one thing that's going to piss me off about them to the point where I'm going to cut them loose. And by God, they didn't do it last week.
Mm-hmm.
This man, Walter, told you, I don't want to come to the United States. I have no reason to come to the United States. I'm the man here. But then you're gonna push his buttons. You're going to be like, okay, well, like Cornette said, even Cornette said it. He was like, look, either you come to the United States or you kick rocks. Me, I'd have kicked rocks.
Mm-hmm.
But Walter, I don't know. I don't know what they told him. I don't know what kind of contract they gave him, what they decided to do to get him, to convince him, but they brought him over. And in typical WWE fashion, they bring him in and they change his name. The man is known around the world as Walter. He's won titles everywhere in this world and outside the United States. He's won everywhere. And you're gonna change this man's name. Not only did you change his name, you changed it to a Nazi U-boat commander's name. He's a Nazi now. And then
they dropped the last name.
And then you're going to there was somebody, I want to say it was PWI Insider or somebody who was like, well, Kyle O'Reilly a few months back when Kyle O'Reilly was talking about Walter, did call him Gunter during a promo. Maybe he did. Was it foreshadowing? Who knows? But who are you appealing to? Who are you trying to gain in changing this man's name to a Nazi war criminal's name?
Mm-hmm.
What demographic are you looking for?
Who the hell didn't fact check?
So I tell you what, I tried. I backed you up. I was
Longer than
with
anybody.
you. I was with you. But now,
Yep. The one guy you
straight
had.
to hell. I
As
can't
much
do
as
it.
we talked and touted over the last 2 years about how phenomenal NXT is, I didn't watch the last two pay-per-views. I mean, and it sucks because there's some great talent down there. I love what Mandy
Yeah, I
Rose
mean,
is doing.
I'm getting into I'm trying to
Codified.
support Braun Breaker. I'm trying to support Braun Breaker. I'm getting into the Carmelo Hayes character. Even the Grayson Waller is kind of bringing me in. Toxic Attraction, I was waiting to see. Alexa Lopez, love her. Okay. But what? What?
It's failing. But we'll give them 2 more months. And then, is that the phone ringing? You said what? It's time to play the game again? Okay. Now, what I thought was interesting and funny, and KG, I know you got something to say about this. Somebody asked the Road Dogg, who recently got let go from being a part of NXT, they asked him what his thoughts are, and he basically, told the line, company guy, well, it's just going to take some time. People are going to have to get used to it. They're still going through, but they've got great talent. But you just got to give it a chance. No, it sucks. Period. I mean, the coach.
Nah, you want to listen to somebody that recently left the WWE that's gonna tell you what's up. Scotty Too Hotty.
Oh yeah.
Scotty Too Hotty had a match against Joey Janela in GCW a couple of weeks back, right? So he gets in the ring and he talks about in a promo. He talks about how the WWE are going after all these figure skaters and these muscle models and all these folks that's ain't gonna put a title on a hair model. Where all these people coming from,
Yep.
But then you're gonna cut off all the indie wrestlers that are out there looking. As much as I don't understand it, I mean, I get it. That's where the money is. If you play Pee Wee football, you eventually want to go to the NFL. If you play AAA, if you play AAU baseball, you eventually want to go to the major leagues. I get it. So everybody got a dream to go to the WWE to make their money. But I mean, I don't get it though. I don't get it. And then because there's so much out here right now as far as the forbidden door and all this and that. All these open companies that have opened up and whatnot. You're not going to make $100,000 a match, but you're going to make good money if you know what you're doing. If you put yourself out there. I mean, so all these folks trying to clamor to WWE, knowing that they're gonna get screwed in the end. But hey, hard head make a soft ass. So you'll figure it out.
That's good for NWA. That's good
Just like Punk told MJF, you want to go over there and headline WrestleMania? Go right ahead, buddy. But you'll as soon as you get over there, you'll be ready to get back to AEW in a heartbeat. Believe me, when I tell you.
They can't do anything with MJF. He can't cut a promo like he's used to doing. He can't do anything that makes him, in my opinion, the number one heel in wrestling right now. I mean, there may be somebody else people can argue, but MJF pushes that button without pushing the button when it comes down to the crowd. As soon as they hear his music, it's just a pop and heat. And he just plays onto it. And it takes a certain type of person. And Barry Corbin was talking about this in a couple interviews ago, that to be able to stomach being a heel takes a specific type of person that can be that character 100% and not waver, not be like, oh, it's getting too hot. I can't handle it. I gotta go. Can I get a little bit of a face run? Can I get a little bit of something? No, you are heel. You're gonna be the bad guy. And when you have those chosen few, man, it's a rocket ship because that makes every face better. Because they have somebody, if they suck at promos, you could cut a promo on MJF because you hate him that much from a character standpoint. You can find something to just go off of about 3 minutes about. And that's the glory when you have a true heel, a lost art form in professional wrestling because people flip flop it too much. Just as Kevin Owens, bad guy again with the stunner. It's like, okay, so am I supposed to be mad you stunnering people? Or am I supposed to be happy you stunnering people? I don't know what to do right now. Seth Rollins for Roman Reigns. He's kind of the good guy right now by proxy. It just, where's the true heel? But, that's my thing. You know what else is my thing, KG?
What might that be?
A top 10 countdown. Well, blow me down. Bring it all the way back from the beginning of when we started the Wrestlemaniacs many moons ago. KG has asked for it, talked about it, and now I'm going to finally give him what he wants. Got to give the people what they want. And that is a top 10 counter. James, what are you doing? What?
I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop. That's all.
Well, here's the size for your shoe. Top 10, my top 10, mark out finishes. We're going to start a little hot and heavy and controversial. So, just because it's me, KG, there's some criteria. First criteria.
Watch number one be the 5-knuckle shuffle.
Oh, either that or the leg drop.
Yeah.
First criteria, crowd reaction.
Oh, here go the criteria. Go ahead.
Second criteria, versatility. That's that out of nowhereism. And the third criteria is the test of time. So, with the criteria being laid, that being crowd reaction, versatility, and test of time, I'm going to give you the honorable mentions before I give you my top 10 mark out finishers. Honorable mention, the $1 Million Dream. 5-star frog splash. Oldie but goodie, the Russian sickle. Death Valley driver. The spear. We talked about him earlier. The Michinoku driver. The flying elbow drop. The Doomsday device. You're welcome, KG. The Styles Clash. One of my personal favorites, but it didn't make the list. The Van Terminator. And one of the most deadliest holds ever, the Tongan Death Grip.
This list is already flawed.
The honorable mentions.
It's already flawed.
Honorable mentions. That was like 20 of them right there, but go ahead.
But it's already flawed. That's the thing. The list is already flawed.
Can I do mine?
Okay, I'll give a rebuttal when you finish.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So my top 10 mark out finishers. At number 10, 3D. Number 9, Sweet Chin Music. I can see it's brewing over there. Number 8, the F5. 7, gong, the tombstone. 6, sharpshooter / scorpion deathlock. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. The top 5, in my opinion, mark out finishers of all time. Based off the criteria of crowd reaction, versatility, out of nowhereism, and a test of time. Number 5, rock bottom. Number 4, the figure 4 / figure 8. Number 3, the stunner. Stay still. Number 2, the diamond cutter / RKO. And my number 1 mark out finisher of all time, the DDT. So just to recap it, number 10, 3D. Number 9, Sweet Chin Music. Number 8, the F5. 7, the Tombstone. 6, Sharpshooter Scorpion Deathlock. Number 5, Rock Bottom. 4, figure 4 / figure 8. Number 3, the Stunner. Number 2, Diamond Cutter. Number 1, DDT. KG, have at it.
Yes, I had to walk off because number 1, I said this list was flawed. You had the Doomsday Device as honorable mention.
You're welcome.
We still doing the Doomsday Device in 2022. Me and my brother-in-law put the kids. We put the baby in the Doomsday Device.
Briscoe's using the Doomsday
How many
Device.
people are doing Doomsday Device right now?
The Briscoes are using it. FTR has used it. Let's see.
As a main finisher.
As a main, yeah. The Briscoes used it as a main finisher for a while.
That is the finisher. That's where that.
Yes.
Not say it's a bad move, but test of time. These moves you see in regular rotation somewhere of some kind, especially the top 5.
Go ahead, KG, because I know you're not finished. I'll get in here in a minute. Go ahead.
The simple fact that you got the Stunner at number 3.
What's wrong with that?
That should be number 1.
That's if you Google
okay,
it,
wait, hold
places that don't have the Stunner as number 1.
Let's stop. You got DDT as number 1. Okay.
What's wrong with that?
That's just a normal move now. That's not even a finisher anymore. That was a finisher in the golden age.
It's not even a finisher anymore.
It's a normal move.
John Moxley used it as a finisher.
You got the DDT, the giant DDT, the float over DDT.
No,
They're
he
not
doesn't.
anymore.
That's not the DDT.
Well,
that's a variation of the DDT, but it's not the DDT.
How many
double on DDT? The double on DDT is not Jake Roberts' DDT.
No, it's not. The last person to use the DDT as a finisher, Mankind.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna go there.
No, actually, that's Moxley's.
Double on DDT.
Yeah, that's the double on DDT.
Yeah. And I love that. I love when Mick Foley did that. But the simple fact that you put the DDT.
You don't see DDTs everywhere. You see a lot of cutters. That's why that's not number 1.
You do see DDTs. You see DDTs in almost every match.
No, I mean,
men and women. It's a regular move.
They don't use it as a finisher anymore because it's been used so much. They can't use it as a finisher. That's why Jake Roberts is all pissed off because he's saying, they've overused my move so much that it can't use it as a finisher. So it's not a finisher. Even Jake Roberts said it's not a finisher anymore.
It's a finisher. It may not be in current rotation, but it's a mark out finisher. You tell me you didn't pop when
I was 6 years old.
If Jake grabs somebody,
but you can't. You're not popping on DDTs now.
You lose it.
Didn't stand the test of time.
No, they've
Regular
overused it.
Regular move set.
Yeah, it's just regular move set for everybody.
I refuse to accept that.
Okay. The simple fact that you got the 3D at number 10.
Plus the fact
you have the 3D
in the top 10
at number 10 though.
Where would you put
at
it?
number 10 though? I put at least top 5.
I would, yeah, because that's a marker, especially when they put somebody through a table with it.
So you
got the Usos using it now.
You put that over the F5?
Yes.
Yeah, I put it damn sure put it over the F5.
Yes.
Or the figure 4?
Oh yeah, F5, yes. Yeah, definitely.
Because you talking about mark out. You talking about got me up out my seat, happy to see it. But that's the reason why I watched this match, because I knew I was going to see it. The stunner, the tombstone, and not in this order. Sweet Tim used the stunner, the tombstone, the 3D, and the rock bottom are top 5. I got excited to see the rock bottom because I knew I was going to see the people's elbow 8 times out of 10, which is just the elbow drop, but it's the most electrifying move in sports entertainment.
You know what? Let me help you out. You see this now? We are not seeing eye to eye because I can't see you.
We never see eye to eye.
And that's why we have this segment, ladies and gentlemen. James, what's your thought? Go ahead.
Now let me get to mine. And I don't even care where you put it. I don't even care where you put it. But you didn't say it. You didn't put it in your honorable mention. What? You didn't put it in your top 10. And how you didn't, I don't understand.
And what
the
is that?
snowplow.
The Canadian Destroyer.
Because it is overused everywhere now.
And the DDT isn't?
Nope.
And I'm not even saying put Canadian Destroyer at number 1. I'm just saying put it in your list. I don't care where you put it. But you didn't even put it in your list.
It was in consideration for honorable mention. I will be honest with you, it was in consideration. But that you got
more people anticipating a Canadian Destroyer depending on who's using it than you do the DDT. Because the DDT is used in every match by everybody. Hell, Hornswoggle uses the DDT.
Because it works.
How effective is the DDT from Hornswoggle?
I don't know. Let's all take one and find out. Dylan Postal, there you go. We'll take it through a flaming table.
Hey, you pay me enough, I'll sell it.
You ain't got to pay me at all, I'll sell it.
You pay me.
The simple fact that you had the 5-star frog splash in honorable mention, that bothered my soul. My soul is not right now. Okay? Whether it's a 5-star frog splash from Eddie Guerrero, Rob Van Dam, or Montez Ford, that is one of the most exciting moves because of the timing, the precision, and the talent that it takes to pull that off without breaking your damn ribs.
Oops. Sorry, segment's over. Can't go anymore. You want more of the top 10 list? There'll be more to come because obviously these guys have problems.
You got
They don't want to see it my way. They don't want to consider the daggone criteria. They just want to harp on the negative. Even if I give them something from the Road Warriors. I can only do it so much. But, controversy creates viewership. You're welcome. Now, let's get to some Rumble picks. This year, we're going to do something different. Not really going to pick a winner from the Royal Rumble because the women, they pretty much given everybody away. So I'm not even going to try because I'm mad about that. And the men, there's too many variables that they haven't announced. So we got some specials that could happen, and we don't know how it's going to play out. So we're just going to stick with the main card and do our picks. So for me, 2 of these matches are pretty simple because we've actually talked about it earlier. in the show. So I'll start. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. That's a no-brainer. I'm going Brock. Sumo,
Brock.
KG.
Of course, Brock. I've been waiting 10 years now for this, 12 years for this. Nope, even more than that. I've been waiting 15 years for this match, and it's
Yep.
gonna be straight bullshit. I'm done.
It's on you, buddy. It's on you. James, Roman and Seth.
Roman.
Yep. I got Roman. KG.
I'm going chalk, Roman.
There you go. Now we have some fun. Miz and Maurice versus Edge and Beth. KG.
I was already unmuted. Edge and Beth.
James.
I say Miz and Maurice.
That's what I'm thinking. Miz is about due. He's done a lot of good business for folks. It's about time for him to actually get a win somewhere on major TV or pay-per-view. Here's another interesting one that really we know how this is going to go. Becky Lynch versus Doudrop for the Raw Women's Championship. So Becky's in the main event of WrestleMania, co-main event of WrestleMania. So Becky Lynch. KG?
The man.
Sumo?
Yeah, I give it to Becky.
I think we're kind of seeing a theme here that WrestleMania plans is kind of overshadowing everything.
Right.
And last but not least, Alpha Academy versus RK Bro for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Sumo?
Alpha Academy retains. There will be no reason to give it to them if they're gonna put it up, take them off of them this quick. So I go with Alpha Academy.
Boo, Edge Beth. Boo, 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 boo. KG?
Okay, bro.
I'm gonna go with good old Otis. He could be the ham and help them win. Wait to find out what match the Usos are gonna have. They haven't really solidified anything yet, so we'll see. That may be a match to be slid in there somewhere for the Usos versus whomever. But that's the picks. It's not gonna be anything special. It's not gonna be anything crazy. But word on the street, and I think it's a reliable word, is that somebody has got a little bit of a problem. I think somebody's got some beef.
I swear that picture is like 20 years old, man.
Who picks these things?
He's got his little Easter eggs and whatnot. You know, he always got something hidden or something he gonna flash up there just to mess with you.
Hey man, that's what I do.
Yeah. Yes, I do have beef. I got beef. My beef is with WWE. And I'm gonna say this. It's not that I don't love you. You know how much I do. And it's not that I found someone to ever take the place of you. It's just a fear that builds within me every time you touch my hand. And a dread that shakes my body so much I can't even stand. So I'm leaving. It's time I'm going to play it smart. I'm going to walk away from the WWE before it has a chance to break my heart once again. WWE has been I said it earlier in the show, has been a sinking ship. It
Wait a
is a
minute, wait a
sinking
minute.
ship. Well,
Did somebody turn on the thespian light or something? Did I miss something?
it was
this
actually
spoken word Saturday.
I did because I didn't feel like singing. That's all. That's just one
Have
time
you
I
been
didn't feel
talking
like
to the
singing.
genius?
And no, just one time I didn't feel like singing.
Okay. At first I thought he was about to quote a rap song, and the next thing I know,
No.
putting in bars.
It's just I had to throw a little David Ruffin in there. Like I said earlier in the show, WWE is a sinking ship. I'm tired of being the guy that sits around and talks about the good old days. As Moms Mabley used to say, what good old days? I was here. When was that? It was in the Attitude Era. I'm tired of looking back at the Attitude Era and saying, I miss you. The Attitude Era calls on the phone. I'm yelling, oh, you sound good. No, but I can't do this. I can't do WWE no more. When I got when James put that message out there about the changing of Walter's name to Gunther, I think that was it for me. I try to take my affiliations out of my sports. I support what I support. I like what I like. But ever since Vince has put his finger in the NXT pool, in the Kool-Aid, and tried to stir it, NXT has been trash. Everybody that's came through NXT that they built up, Triple H and Dusty have built up, he's destroyed. Keith Lee, Mia Yim. I'm glad he hasn't gotten to Bianca Belair and the Street Profits, but he's destroyed everybody that's come out of NXT in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if he's trying to erase Triple H's fingerprint. I don't know if he's trying to erase Dusty's fingerprint, but I have a serious problem with Vince McMahon right now. This was, once Dusty passed away, this became Triple H's baby, and he cultivated it into these superstars. They had great characters, great gimmicks. Everything was great. But when they come to the main roster, everything gets changed. And like the War Raiders go to being the Viking Raiders. Yeah, they were still over, but it took a minute to get used to Viking Raiders. You're destroying everything that's being built from the ground up mostly. I have a serious beef with that. I'll walk away from WWE before I sit down and watch this again and keep getting my heart broken. What you had with Heavy Machinery, you had a tag team that was over and a tag team division that needed somebody else. You fucked that up too. How many times do we have to go through this to sit here and watch this product over and over and over and over and over to be destroyed? I'm tired of watching something that I love be destroyed. Rather than continue to sit here and watch it, I will no longer watch it. I'll peek in, but I won't sit down and watch it with intent like I once did. I can't do it. I mean,
Breach, brother.
Don't get me wrong.
Tear up in here.
Vince McMahon is a genius. He took territorial wrestling and turned it global, which is great. But it's time to let it go. It's time for new blood, new talent. The things that worked 35, 40 years ago don't work now. The things that worked 10 years ago don't work now. We are in a cyber age. We're in a technological age. You took away your own network, the WWE network, the app, all yours standalone. Now we got this Peacock bullshit that's even worse. I preferred the app because I could watch it on the go. I didn't have to pay nothing but $9.99. Yes, I get Peacock for free, but damn, it's so hard to pull up anything on Peacock because it takes so damn long to load. I blame WWE for it. I cannot keep going through this. As a lover of wrestling, I can't keep going through this. I wish TNA was back the way it was about 12 years ago, where I could watch TNA on Saturday mornings, watch New Japan early Saturday morning in the Sunday. That way I didn't have to look at it. But this product that you're putting in front of me, it's a shit product. I don't want to deal with it anymore. So before you hurt me again, I am walking away from WWE. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Well, that was some beef. Anything you want to add to that, James? I don't have anything.
Looks like you're gonna have to start you a. Looks like you're gonna have to start you a segment on WWE, buddy, because you on your own with WWE, Don.
Well, my thing is, you don't like it. You don't like my opinion. There's two things you can do about it. Nothing and like it. It's my opinion.
You can comment. You can send an email. What do you send an email to?
SidelineJunkies247@gmail.com.
Comment on the show on YouTube. Comment on the Facebook. Comment on the Twitters. What are we on Twitter?
Sideline Junkies, all one word. Twitter and Instagram.
Yep. So comment, like,
yeah.
subscribe,
Let me know if you got a problem with me too, man. And NXT and Fight Network. Let me know if you got a problem with me too. Let me holler at your boy. Well, I got all the smoke for you. I got that work for you.
I'm like James. I go head to head with anybody. I don't care. I mean, I'll fight.
Segment, so I just get beef from my top 10 countdowns. But that's what we do. And with that, another thing we don't do is extra stuff, because we came, we saw, we talked about what we need to talk about. My voice is some shit right now, but either way, we made it happen on this season premiere of the Wrestlemaniacs. So I appreciate you. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on the Facebook, if you catch us on a link from Twitter, we thank you for coming back and checking us out, either live, excuse me, or in person. So thank you. The mothership is always going to be, flying in on Saturdays to pick you up and to take you to a world where everything else doesn't matter. And only our three voices will come across. Maybe KG trying to do spoken word again. Very soon, James will be an alcoholic again. So, I mean, it's all perfect. And if you haven't seen Alky James, Lord knows you got something to look forward to. I was putting you over. That wasn't a dig.
No, I'm not. Correction. I'm not an alcoholic. Alcoholics go quitters.
Oh, okay. A resident drunk.
I'm a drunk.
But you got strong tolerance, though. Because, I mean, that day that Jesus turned water to wine, he was the first person there with a gourd. So he is good to go. He can handle his liquor. Trust me. I mean, he's been squashing grapes since, Adam and Eve. But, that's a whole nother story. We'll get back to that. So we don't do overtime. We don't do extra time. And apparently it's about time to land this mothership. So all I got to say is diversify your bonds.
Konnichiwa, bitches.